You're watching Rain Knight Gaming. Want to help the channel out? Go over to Dueling Nexus and use my promo code Rain Knight Gaming to get yourself some free swag. Now, let's get into the action.
What's going on, Yu-Gi fans? Welcome back to Rain Knight Gaming. I am Rain Knight, and today we're going to start out a new series on this nice, super foggy morning. We're going to deep dive into a new archetype, and then over subsequent episodes, we're going to take it to locals, try different versions of that archetype, split up with other archetypes, and just really learn everything we can about Runick. That's right. You should have known something was up when I put out my Stun deck profile a couple weeks ago, whenever I put that out, that I may have been going down a dark road. So today, we've got our Runick cards. We're gonna go into the office, put a deck together, learn it on Nexus, and kind of go over the main ideas of this archetype. And then in the next episode, we're gonna take it to locals and hopefully not get annihilated. Let's get into the office and see what we're working with.
Okay, everybody, let's go into the archetype overview. This deck's nasty, and people don't like playing against it because you have an alternate win condition. You're trying to banish all of your opponent's cards, not get rid of their life points. People hate playing you. Just get used to it. You're going to be the least popular person at the tournament. Quick overview. You're just trying to use your quick play spells to go 1-for-1 for your opponent, banishing cards with their secondary effect, and using Fountain to shuffle back cards and get to draw cards so you get card advantage. That's basically the whole Runick section of the deck. And to help that, we're using a lot of consistency cards to draw, and we're using a lot of stun cards to slow the game down and to make it a more simplified game state. I'm pretty dumb, so I like to play in a simplified game state. Just how I roll. Then in the extra deck, in this video, we're just going to be running the Runick cards. In subsequent videos, we'll flesh out that extra deck later on with a couple links, maybe a couple other things. But really, your extra deck is mainly defensive, protecting yourself from other people's effects. That's all. Let's get into the Runick Stun deck profile. But before we get into my exact list, I do want to call out that there are tons of amazing creators and duelists that do really good builds of this deck. So I'm going to drop a couple links in the description below. Make sure to check them out and let me know in the comments down below if you think anything's weird with my build, what you would change, what you think I should add, because this is a really cool, interesting deck I'm just getting into. So we are running 40 cards, and then it's a slightly smaller extra deck because I said before, we're just doing a pure Runick build, which you can play with Runick cards. We'll get into more later. First up, 2 Fountain. This is your field spell. You really need to get it on the field. It kind of makes the whole engine work. Then we're doing 3 Tips. This is going to let you search out any Runick card from your deck to hand. Runick Destruction. This is your back row removal. And remember, all these cards also banish cards or summon out fusions. Then a weird one I like to run, 3 Droplets. I know some people play it at 1. I like it because it gets rid of 5 cards from their deck. I could be wrong. Let me know if you think I am. Flashing Fire, this is the one that destroys monsters. And then your next one, which can also run at 3, Freezing Curse. This is your in-perm of the deck. So these are your all 3 ofs, and then your 2 ofs, 1 ofs, Dispelling and Smiting. Dispelling, if they draw a card, you get to banish one from their hand. And then Smiting, how many cards they have on the field, you can banish up to that number. It lets you finish games pretty much. Then we got our consistency cards. Pot of Desires at 1, Duality at 2. You could play Duality at 3 and Desires at 2 if you want to. 1 Day of Peace is awesome. Card of Demise is also awesome. And a cool card for this set, Card Scanner. Because you are putting cards at the bottom of the deck, you know you have spells, so you can just call spells. Time Tearing Morganite, I like to play 1. This lets you draw 2 in your draw phase. but it's kind of dead if you draw a second one, so I just run the one. It's a nice to have, you know. Little defensive options, I play the Call by the Grave, the Harpy's Feather Duster, because if you need to get rid of that back row, you need it. Heat Wave is awesome for this deck because we can play around its restriction by playing stuff in the draw and standby phase. Pretty cool. But it's just another hard block for your opponent that gives you those extra turns. Another way of getting to Fountain, Metaverse, can be really helpful. And then Skill Drain. Everybody hates Skill Drain, but we love Skill Drain because everyone hates it. And then we're also playing Gozen Match. There can be only one. And the Synchro Zone, and then the Ancient Organism, we play it too. You could also play Warlords if you want to. I don't think it comes up a lot. The same thing with There Can Be Only One. I usually side those out. Mono Wado, I play it too. It's my only monster. You could play Border here if you want to. It's just a way to lock down your opponent even further. Then the extra deck. Pretty simple. We're just playing Wings at 3 because this is your best one because it can search your Fountain and it can protect your back row. Then we're playing Fangs. He's a good way to get spells back. And then Frankie and Fergie, I don't know. One destroys and one gets a spell back, very nice. And then Mamarmini, I can't say his name. That one is going to give you life points and help from some destruction. Okay, as you can see, the deck's not expensive. Most of it's in tip. Because I think that's like $5 or $6. So that's kind of where the majority of the price comes from. And there's a couple other cards that cost $1 or $2, but nothing terrible. This is definitely a budget option deck for you, because it all got reprinted in a Mega 10. So everything is very bottom barrel pricing. So you have room in the budget to add those more expensive cards if you have other things you want to put in there or put in the extra deck. One thing that's going to cost you some money, this thing is the newer of the Runick cards and only has one printing, and it's still costing about $10. But as you can see, it's gone up and down, but I think right here it's holding at the normal price, and it's probably going to stay in that $10 mark area. But you only need one in the deck. Never run two. That's just, you're not going to go into it very often. It's very situational. Then Starslayer Typhon is an amazing card you can put in the deck. Don't buy him until the Mega 10 version comes out, because he's probably going to get reprinted in that. They're going to use him and the next card to sell 10, I think. He's a really good card because you can go into him not easily, but not too bad. So that's just a really good card for having a little beefier boy. SP Little Knight, obviously it's stupid expensive right now. It's going to get a reprint in the Mega 10s. And as you can see, it has gone down, but it's still really expensive. I think it's maybe 113 at the moment. 135 is just for the TCG Direct. Again, don't buy it right now. It's just a nice to have. You don't need it in your deck. Okay, guys, that's the end of the video for right now. In the next couple of videos, as I said, we are going to try to get out to locals, but I think maybe I'll just do some Let's Plays in Nexus to just kind of go over how the deck works, how you can play it, how different interactions work, and just get better at playing it in general. Okay, guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know in the comments down below what you would change. How would you make this deck your own? And what have I screwed up? And what would you like to know more of? But until next time, guys, my name's Rain Knight. This has been Rain Knight Gaming, and I'll see you later. See ya.